Okay, I think I'm live. Hello, testing the volume. Always feels a little like an absurd play or something. You're sitting there talking to yourself, no one's watching. I imagine Malcolm and Jurassic Park would be good at this. Chaos theory. Yeah, so I just said I'd do a quick stream since I haven't had a video up in the last 2 weeks. So apologies for that. Which I did like a whole stream, whatever, half an hour or whatever, and it was like no one was on the whole time. I guess it was kind of wasn't really announced, so people might know. It would be kind of funny though. I did a stream there, no viewers. I had half an hour spare time, so I said I'd just pop on. I'm afraid to go on a different tab in case someone comes on and I don't realize. I guess I could use my phone for a moment. Milan scraped the 3-2 win against Lecce. I think we're 8 in the table now, but Roma have a game in hand. I've seen very little football this season. Oh, one viewer. Very little football this season. But I have been watching more movies recently. Did anyone see that? What was that film? Toxic Town on Netflix. I watched it there last day or two. Really good, actually. Robert Carlyle was in it, and I'd never actually heard about this story of. It was a true story about like or industrial kind of waste, and that kind of got into the air, and then a lot of women who had been pregnant ended up having children who had like uh, deformities. Um, really good miniseries. Definitely recommend it. But I had no idea that it had actually had this about this story that had happened. This real story, a real event. So it's pretty crazy. Oh, the viewer is gone. Guess that's how interesting I was. Yeah. Let's see. Live. I always get a little nervous. I did the first time I did it. It's only my second time doing it, but I always get a little nervous being live. So I have season 2, episode 10 of Star Trek. I am in the middle of editing that, and I'm almost finished with. I watched DOA, the Last in the War film, before I move on to a different genre. But they'll both be up next week now instead. Just I was in Germany, and then I had this really bad toothache. It was actually a gum infection. I have to go to the dentist Monday to get an extraction. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, just a lot of stuff has come up the last few weeks, and I just got a little bit behind. always trying to stay ahead of the schedule. I'd love to be at a point, and it was when I started, where I'd be like, I'd have material that would cover the next 2 or 3 weeks, so I'd be way ahead of schedule. But unfortunately, I'm finding it difficult at the moment to get there where I'm like a good bit ahead of schedule. The editing is just very time consuming. It takes a while, and then you're trying to be careful that you don't get copyright claims, especially if it's like where they block it entirely. Like, I understand if they put a copyright on it, I mean, they own it, but when they block it completely, it gets kind of frustrating because essentially you're kind of promoting it for them in a way, So especially if it's like an old film that maybe people kind of, I'll say people are maybe haven't heard of or haven't watched it in a long time, and they're kind of reintroducing that because I do watch quite a bit of old movies primarily. That's why I kind of, when I got my girlfriend involved, to watch some kind of more recent films, kind of like stuff like Jurassic Park or Jaws. Actually, no, we didn't watch Jurassic Park on the channel, but we watched Jaws or The Terminator. I kind of thought that might help the channel grow a bit more. But I do enjoy watching the older movies, definitely. I always say there's just a certain charm about the older movies. Yeah. I think it's because I didn't live through that time, so it's like when you watch kind of history programs, you're watching periods of time often that you haven't lived through, so it's intriguing to see that, like how things were different. And I think I kind of have that with movies as well. I think after this goes live, you can watch it back. So even if no one is here live, they can watch it back if they want. Watch me ramble on for a good half an hour or whatever. Or just have me sit in silence. The absurdity. I actually have an idea for a play about a couple who go like they're at a restaurant or like a hotel, and they have a meal, and they never actually speak to each other the whole time. So the play is them sitting down having a meal, but maybe one of them on the phone, or they're maybe engaging with a waiter at some point, or maybe there's a match and there's a television or something, they're watching a match, but they never actually converse with each other. It'd be challenging to do, but I think it'd be intriguing. Kind of showing how some people have almost lost the art of talking, of having conversation, you know? It's like my sister-in-law was telling me about my niece. She was going bowling, and she said, "Oh, you should invite your friend." And her friend literally lives across the road from her. And she said, "Oh, why don't you just knock on the door?" Because she was like just messaging her. And she said, "Oh, mom, that'd be embarrassing. Knock on the door." And I was like, okay. So knocking on someone's door is embarrassing now for some young people. It's like, interesting. Everything's got to be through the phone. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some great stuff to it, obviously. It's very practical. But I think we're just too reliant. And the art of conversation definitely has taken a hit, especially for the younger generation because they've grown up with this. I don't think it's healthy, but that's just my take on it. I think there should be some kind of Oh, hello, Kerry. How are you? Someone to talk to. I was rambling on for the last 8 or 9 minutes, just talking about how people are so reliant on phones now, and how the art of conversation has waned somewhat. But it's just my take on it. No, I'm good. I was actually out for a walk earlier. Just kind of I had a half an hour to kill, so I said I'd hop on. What time is it over there? Actually, it must be like just afternoon. Oh wait, you said northwest, sunny northwest. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Ireland. I was thinking of America for a second. Sorry. Yeah, I'm over on the east side at the moment, in Wicklow. So I'm from Tipperary originally, but I'm in Wicklow, based in Wicklow usually now. I'm kind of back and forth sometimes. I was talking about. Have you seen that show, Toxic Town, on Netflix? The new show. I didn't know that it was actually based on a true story, about the industrial waste. And oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I've been to Clonmel a couple of times. I'm kind of more north, well, originally north of Tip, kind of on the border with Limerick, kind of closer to there. But yeah, Toxic Town though. It's based on a true story about this. It was this like mine, or not mine, like a factory that was being had been demolished, and they were doing something new up, and a lot of industrial waste got into the area, and a lot of pregnant women at the time, their children had like these kind of defects. Some of them died, and some of them had these kind of like one kind of like with not like fully formed hands, kind of. So there was some kind of issues there, but like a lot of children had this in the area. So yeah, I had no idea that it had been a true story, but the miniseries was very good. Robert Carlyle is in it. Obviously, known from Train Spotting, one of my favorite films. But definitely worth a watch if you've not seen it. Sorry, I was maybe rambling a little bit. Yeah, very cheerful. Hello, Robert. How are you? Welcome to the chat, or the live chat. I know I kind of didn't really announce that I was doing this. I just put it on a post about an hour ago. I was saying that I didn't get a chance to get any videos up the last 2 weekends. I was in Germany, and then I got this really bad gum infection, so I was in a lot of pain. I was on painkillers and antibiotics. I have to go to the dentist on Monday to get an extraction. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't had time to get some videos out. I have like the last episode 10 of Star Trek. I'm in the middle of editing, and there was another noir film, DOA, which actually is copyright free. So I don't have really much anything to do with that at all. Just a couple of little things to it, but they'll definitely both be up next weekend. From Vermont. So what time is it in Vermont? So I'm curious now. I can mention it's about. Yeah, I know. Actually, it's a really good episode as well. Sarek, Spock's father, is in it. I really enjoyed it, but I won't say anything else, give anything away. But definitely a good episode. 4:57. Yeah, I figured it was afternoon. Yeah, it's nearly 10 o'clock here at night. I've heard with Star Trek, with the original series, I've heard that like some people have said that season 3 that the quality goes down. Um, oh, I love Star Trek. Yeah, Next Generation is kind of what I grew up with, and I watched it as a kid, and then I went back to it in my early 20s, and like I kind of reminded myself as I appreciated it on a different level. I'd seen kind of fleeting episodes of the original series here and there, not a lot, and I'd seen a good bit of DS9. I really enjoyed DS9, but I'm definitely enjoying the original series as well. Kirk and Spock, I think, are two really good and engaging characters, and there have been some really good episodes. And there is a charm about kind of the 1960s, um, kind of similar to Planet of the Apes. A little bit has that too. I love Planet of the Apes, but it has that kind of science fiction charm of the time. I was even just saying earlier, I love old movies. There's a real charm about old movies, and I think it's because I didn't live through it, so it just feels like a whole different world. Voyager was decent as well. I saw a bit of Voyager when I was younger. I never really watched Enterprise, but I should because I love Scott Bakula in Quantum Leap. So I really should kind of give Enterprise a go as well at some point. Black Mirror, I've seen a few episodes of. I really liked that. It kind of felt like a modern day Twilight Zone. And Twin Peaks, I'm yet to watch, but so many people over the years have told me that I would love it because I do like kind of the surreal and the absurd as well. So definitely need to watch that. Red Dwarf, I'm not familiar with that one. I haven't heard of that one. The next Star Trek reaction coming up. So is episode 10 a what's the title of it? Journey to Babel, is that it? Journey to Babel? But it's Sarek, so Spock's father. They have all these kind of delegates that are taking this kind of like meeting taking place. And really, Voyager second. Okay, interesting. They definitely went with something different with Voyager, like the fact that they were trying to get back home. So it was definitely a different kind of storyline they went for. So that was fresh. Same with DS9, the fact that it was on a space station, it was a bit different. I think DS9 was probably the darkest of the shows, although Next Generation did have a few dark episodes itself. Yeah, League of Gentlemen, yeah. Yeah, I'd seen a few episodes of that. That's good. Mighty Boosh was quite out there as well. I really liked that. It kind of an acquired taste, I think. Some people loved it, some people just didn't get it. Like my oldest brother just thought it was just nonsense. I mean, a few my younger brothers and myself didn't. We really enjoyed it. So I'm trying to decide what, because I've done noir when it came to the film reactions. I've done noir for the last few weeks, so I'm trying to decide what genre to go to next. I was thinking maybe science fiction, like maybe some of the old science fiction films. Um, and obviously, I got to get back to westerns to get to Western 100, but I want to leave it for a little while because it was primarily westerns for a long time. So I'm unsure. I'm just trying to decide. Glenroe. Sunday nights, the terror of like having your homework done and like hearing Glenroe coming on. Sorry, Robert. Glenroe was like this Irish soap opera show that aired on Sunday nights, and whenever you'd hear the music, you'd always associate it with school, back to school the next morning, and did you have your homework done? That and the Sunday game as well was another. I'd always think of like, oh god, I've school the next day. That's why I love the match of the day music on BBC because it was on a Saturday night, so you still had Sunday, still had another bit of the weekend to go. Baywatch as well used to be on Saturday nights or Saturday evenings on ITV. Oh god, that's spring and Gladiators. I remember that as well. Medium? No, I've not seen Medium. Where in the world would Teresa Lowe too? Yeah. I remember what was that? It used to be on the Den, uh, Echo Island. Do you remember that? That show. What's that comedian guy? The Irish comedian. Can't think of his name now. He used to present it. It was like early in his career. Um, yeah, Medium. Though I've never seen Medium. What's is that science fiction or what genre is that? And is not that it matters, but is it an old or a new show? Well, I guess it kind of does in a way because I usually go for the older stuff. Dara Breen, that's it. Yes, yeah. Couldn't think of the name. Didn't he present as well? What was that? Oh, it was like on Monday or Tuesday nights. Um, Ed Byrne, I think, used to be on it as well. But I think Dara Breen presented, or at least presented it for a while. Mock of the Week, yes, thank you. My head is just not thinking of any of these. But yeah, that was a good show as well. And then Blackbird Jungle with Ray Darcy. God, that's going back now. Mid-90s. Top notch about a person with psychic powers solving crimes with district attorney of Phoenix, Arizona. Sounds really top notch. Well, I love this Phoenix, Arizona. I love that setting, so that actually might be something I'd look into strictly just for the setting alone. Remember, don't feed the gondolas. Oh yeah, don't feed the gondolas. Yeah, God. All right, remember what was they did Too Fat as well when they brought Zig and Zag back for a bit and used to give away the you could win like what's it? It wasn't a motorbike, but a little scooter at the end of the show. God, RTE. All this 90s stuff. So what have you watched recently, guys? What films or TV shows have you or rewatched maybe? Aside from Glenroe. I guess Glenroe was kind of like was it like the Irish Ireland's answer to like Dallas or something, just on a much smaller scale. Another Woman by Woody Allen. Not seen that. Another Woman. Yeah, Woody Allen. I've not seen much stuff by Woody Allen, to be honest. My school's going back for jungle. Oh, Quantum Leap is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Absolutely class. Like I always call the '90s classics for me. So as a child, were so Star Trek Next Generation, Quantum Leap, Unsolved Mysteries, the Highlander TV series, X Files, Simpsons was like in its pomp at the time as well. And the New Adventures of Lois and Clark, or Superman, Lois and Clark with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. They were all kind of like staples. And then what was the other one with the Mountie? Juice Out as well. That was another one. It's a favorite, a drama rather than a comedy. Okay. Well, no, I've heard like Woody Allen, like some of his films are supposed to be brilliant. I just have, for some reason, never got around to seeing one, but I have heard great stuff. Eerie, Indiana. That was with the guy from Hocus Pocus, Omri Katz, I think. Yeah, that was a fun show as well. Watch Fort Apache, To Go and Voyage of Sinbad, and To Catch a Thief. Fort Apache is that's one of my favorites. I know it with Henry Fonda, but with John, in terms of John Wayne westerns, that's one of my favorites. I thought that was an excellent film. The Golden Voyage of Sinbad and To Catch a Thief, I've not seen yet. Yeah, Omri Katz. Yeah, I think he retired. He was JR's son in Dallas. He was a bit younger than that as well. Yeah, it's an excellent western. No, I don't know if it'd be my top 10, but definitely like definitely top 25. I'd say top 20. An excellent film. Henry Fonda actually, he was in a lot of my favorite westerns, like Fort Apache. What was that one? Oh God. Uh, oh, it was like oh God, what was the name? Hang on, I gotta Google it. One sec. It's like probably like one of my all-time favorite westerns. The fantastic film. Hang on, Henry Fonda westerns. My Darling Clementine. That is one of them. That one is fantastic as well. But it's oh, what is? Hang on, the westerns. I just cannot think of the titles of films at the moment or TV shows tonight. My mind is just. The Tin Star was a really good one as well with the guy from Psycho. That was really good as well. But um, it was. Yeah, it was. Warlock. Nobody. No. I know. Obviously, once upon the Oxbow incident. That's it. The Oxbow incident. I think that I think that's my favorite western of all time. Yes, that's it. Absolutely brilliant. Really sad, but such a poignant. Like not even one of my favorite westerns. I would say like I'd have that now if I was to reassess like my favorite films of all time since I've really got into the western genre. The Oxbow incident would definitely be my top 50. Like Fantastic film. I'd recommend it to anyone, even if you're not into westerns. I picked up some westerns in the shop a few months back for €5. Stuff like Magnificent Seven, Rio Bravo, High Noon. Yeah, great stuff there. High Noon in particular. That was the first western I watched on the channel. I think that's a brilliant film as well. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, I couldn't remember the title either. Yeah, for some reason, just as it's tonight, just titles are just not coming to me. But yeah, definitely some good stuff there. My father actually, Rio Bravo is he's massive John Wayne fan, but I think Rio Bravo is his favorite. If I was thinking my favorite John Wayne western, I think it'd probably be The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I thought that was a terrific film. Really, really good stuff. To be honest, anything with Jimmy Stewart in it, I tend to really, really enjoy. Western or not, like he did some really good films with Alfred Hitchcock as well, like Rear Window. Such a good film. Massive fan of Jimmy Stewart and Henry Fonda. A lot of these actors who I'd seen very little or nothing of them before starting the channel, like they've really become some of my favorite performers with some of their stuff. Some really good stuff. Obviously Eastwood as well. I really enjoyed a lot of his films. My favorite Eastwood western, probably Unforgiven. I'm not trying to just go with the popular choice, but it's probably usually Unforgiven or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But I think for me, Unforgiven, and I actually think For a Few Dollars More is the best of the Dollars trilogy. That was the one I enjoyed most. Um, and I think probably his most underrated is Two Mules for Sister Sarah. I really liked that one. And Pale Rider too. Pale Rider was excellent. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he loves that. Um, yeah, he's seen a lot. Like I remember years ago when I was a child, he would have them on, and I'd kind of take a glance at them. Um, but when you're a child, often you kind of you don't fully know what's going on. You just see the shootout scenes. You know, not a huge fan of westerns, but I was pleasantly surprised. Manchester Liberty Valance is good, as is the original True Grit. Favorite Eastwood is Pale Rider is. I really really like Pale Rider. I know there's kind of a link between that and what's the other one that goes into that town? From 1973. God, what is it with me in titles? Yeah, Eastwood westerns. High Plains Drifter. That's it. Yes, thank you, Kerry. High Plains Drifter. Yeah, I liked that one, but I enjoyed Pale Rider more because I remember they were saying there was kind of a link, like both of them kind of hint at this kind of a supernatural element with the character. But and don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed High Plains Drifter, but for some reason I just enjoyed our Pale Rider more. I thought it was a better film. I really really liked that one. Yeah, Shane was a good movie too. I like Shane. I think like westerns then that like I don't want to say I would say overrated. Just maybe yeah. A lot of people have said that. I remember in the comments on my Pale Rider reaction, a lot of people said that they could see comparisons to Shane. I guess especially the ending when he leaves and she's calling out preacher. It's like the kid when he's saying like Shane. I think it's the Shane don't go. That was very. I could definitely see a similarity there. So there might have been some inspiration on that one. Another western I really liked with God, the actor, the main actor in High Noon. Oh God, again names. Just my mind is blank today. But Garden of Evil, which I'd never. Gary Cooper, thank you very much. Thank you, lifesaver. But Garden of Evil, which I watched, I think it was like last year. I thought that was an excellent film, like really good western. I really enjoyed that one. There's been some that like I've never really heard much said about them, or not a whole lot said. And I watched them and I'm like, wow, this is actually excellent, and that was definitely one of them. I think I was the one who mentioned Shane on your Pale Rider reaction. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. Um, that was like I remember seeing a trailer for Pale Rider, like before I even started the channel, and I just thought that looked really, really good. That film, and I remember initially I was going to go through like basically just go through all the Eastwood westerns. I think a couple of John Wayne and then go through all of Eastwood. But I'm glad I kind of broke it up a bit because I remember people were saying like, uh, especially with Unforgiven, to really enjoy Unforgiven, it's good to really explore the genre. So I think I watched. I think Unforgiven was like Western number 50, so I really got a good taste for the Westerns, and I think a lot of people appreciated that I didn't just go straight into like starting with Unforgiven, that I really explored the genre quite a bit. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil is a movie I really want to watch but can't find it anywhere. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I've never heard of that one. Is that a Western? Um, but the two, I still haven't decided what Western number 100 is going to be. I have to do 99. I think it's a is it Friendly Persuasion is the name of it? It's Anthony Hopkins. I know that. I've planned for a long time to watch it. Actually, one of my subscribers had suggested for quite a while. And he's still waiting for me to do it. So I'm going to do that for Western number 99, and then for 100, I've got to do like a final poll to decide. I've done a few kind of. I really made it complicated, but I did like a few qualifying rounds of different westerns. I need to get back and get the final vote in for of the ones that have kind of qualified to the final poll to determine what will be Western number 100. It's an Eastwood star and the director. I don't think it's a Western, but the title intrigues me. Okay. Yeah, like there's still a good few or Eastwood movies I definitely tend to watch. Like some of the Dirty Harry sequels I want to watch. And there's a few others that I haven't seen. What's that one? Where Eagles Dare, I think it's called. And there's definitely a couple of other Eastwood films that I need to watch. But I've pretty much gone through all these westerns, which I'm a little sad about. Still a good lot of John Wayne's I can watch though, because he did like I think over I'd say about 80 westerns. He did a lot. No, I've not seen that yet. That's his most recent one. Yeah, I definitely want to see. I've heard good things about it. Where Eagles Dare. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want to see that one. But yeah, Juror number 2, I've heard good things about, so I should definitely watch that too. I think my favorite Eastwood movie though would be one I actually had watched before I started the channel, but Escape from Alcatraz. I love that film because I love the story itself. Like it's so fascinating. To this day, they don't know what actually happened. Like they never found any bodies. I think it's such a compelling story, and the film was really, really enjoyable. Yeah, it's excellent film. I think that was the last one, his last collaboration with oh god, I can't think of the director's name now, but they worked on the first Dirty Harry. They worked on Two Mules for Sister Sarah. I think The Beguiled as well. There was another one before Escape from Alcatraz. Can I think of the director's name though? I think he also directed God, I cannot think of titles. That one, that's a sci-fi horror where they take control of the person. Thank you, Don Siegel. That's it. The Mule. Yeah, that was more. Was that like 2016 or something or 15? Like I know it's nearly 10 years ago. I say recent, but it's like nearly 10 years ago. Maybe it was a little later than that. But yeah, no, that's not seen that one either. But that's another one I should watch. Thank you again, Robert. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Excellent film. Really, really enjoyed that. 2018, yeah. Yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers was a great film. So was The Incredible Shrinking Man. To be honest, a lot of those science fiction kind of sci-fi / horror kind of horror elements, I really, really like those, and they kind of sometimes have a bit of they feel like feature-length versions of Twilight Zone episodes. Not that every Twilight Zone episode had a sci-fi element, but just kind of that kind of uncanny or odd kind of scenario or situation going on, which I really, really like, because Twilight Zone is. I remember I got Twilight Zone, I think season 1, as like a gift for Christmas, and I was like, this will probably be kind of fun, a bit cheesy, but it'll be fun. And I watched it, and I was like, my God, these are like genuinely really, really good stories, really, really good episodes. I would recommend it to anyone. Twilight Zone, fantastic show. And I still haven't watched the whole way through. I think I was on season 4. I need to get through to the end of it. Have you seen the jokey sequel, The Incredible Shrinking Woman, with Lily Tomlin? First movie directed by Joel Schumacher. I have not seen that, but I will have to check that out now. I recently watched The Invasion with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig, also based on Body Snatchers. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll check that out too. I'm going to start writing down some of these actually. Okay. So is it like a remake or kind of like just a similar scenario or situation? I think it's on YouTube. Okay, I'll definitely have to watch that. The thing about the Incredible Shrinking Man that really got me though as well was the scenes with the spider because I'm not the best when it comes to spiders, so those scenes really kind of got under my skin. It's kind of weird as well because I also really like Arachnophobia, even though that's probably was the best film to have the effect of, aside from Incredible Shrinking Man, it was the best film for kind of making you kind of on that unnerving kind of feeling. Because I thought like there's kind of some of those like eight-legged freaks and those kind of ones where like it's like a giant. You can tell it's CGI. You can't it loses you, but with Arachnophobia they were using like real spiders, so it really felt more tangible and just kind of that you know you got that kind of squirming in your seat kind of effect. Essentially, a remake with some alterations. Okay, okay, I'll definitely check that out as well because I loved Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I only seen bits of the '70s remake with Leonard Nimoy. I think Leonard Nimoy's in it, and Jeff Goldblum and Donald Sutherland. So I probably should watch. I should check that one out and watch it in full because a lot of people say that's good as well. Um, But I'd always try and watch kind of the original version first. That's like with True Grit, for example. Like I know there's the version the Coen Brothers did, but I wanted to watch the original version with John Wayne first. And actually, an unpopular opinion, but I actually enjoyed Rooster Cogburn, the sequel, more than True Grit, which most people will probably be baffled by that. I really liked Rooster Cogburn. True Grit, I thought there was some good elements to it, but I wasn't a massive fan of that one when it comes to the John Wayne westerns. Um, the Searchers was another that like when I watched it the first time, I thought it was good, but I was expecting it to be like amazing. But I have revised my opinion on the Searchers. Like if you watch my video now with the review I gave, I was a bit underwhelmed, but I've kind of come to appreciate it a bit more now. Over time, it is a very good film. Not my favorite John Wayne western, but it is a very very good film. Um, I think like stuff like Hondo I thought was really good, and Chisholm I thought that was a really good western as well. Yeah, I'm the same too. Original first, but some remakes are better. Yeah, definitely the Fly. Um, I've never seen the original Thing, but John Carpenter's The Thing is phenomenal. The whole paranoia thing that does is like just unbelievable. It's such a well made film, and The Fly as well. The Fly is just like for me, it's a metaphor for aging. You know, the fear of aging and your body breaking down. But they did it in such a good way. Again, I love Jeff Goldblum. So to mention, my friend Dorothy's dad did music for several Twilight Zone episodes. Plus, he did the music for Garden of Evil. Wow. Okay, that is a fantastically a really cool piece of trivia. Being a massive Twilight Zone fan, that is actually really really cool. And as I said, I loved Garden of Evil. That is really really cool. Yeah, that's definitely a nice thing to have in your resume that you compose music for the Twilight Zone and for Garden of Evil as well. I'm a huge David Cronenberg fan, so I love The Fly. Yeah, The Fly is brilliant. I need to watch more Cronenberg stuff though. I definitely need to watch more of his stuff. But yeah, The Fly is really really good film. And I only realized that because I watched Blood Simple recently, and the actor who plays Ray is the same actor who plays the ex of Gina Davis's character in The Fly. And I was like, because I was looking up about the actor after I watched Blood Simple, and I was like, he's in The Fly. He looks like a complete. I know he's got a beard, but he looks so different. Like I would never have thought that was the same actor at all. And they're only like about. I think Blood Simple was 84 and The Fly was like 86, 87. So like there was only about 2 or 3 years between them, but never would have known it was the same actor. Blood Simple was really good, actually. I really liked that. That was a really good film. 84 and 86, yeah. Yeah, so not a long time between them. Um, but yeah, one thing I did like about the old version of The Flyer, that's the scene that really got me, was when you see the head of the scientist on the body of the fly and the spider coming down about to eat him. John Getz, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. But when the spider's about to eat him, I assume you've seen the old version with what's his name? Oh God, what is wrong with me tonight? Uh, oh, he was in like loads of horror films. God, back in the day. Oh man, was he in The Last Man on Earth? Vincent Price, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, where he could come along and they get like a rock and they smash basically kill him and the spider. But it's terrifying. And you're kind of saying, why are you waiting? Just do it. Do it. Don't let him suffer. God. But I guess they're kind of almost in disbelief of what they're seeing. Cronenberg gives me deep squirm issues. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I definitely had that with The Fly. Absolutely. Like the scene where he has the donut and he just like vomits on it. And then he's just like, oh, sorry, that's disgusting. Yes, help me. Yeah, the little kind of squeaky voice. It's so unnerving and just like unnatural. There's so much uncomfortable and unpleasant about that scene. Yeah, just these old films. They do have the charm. I need to watch the original version of The Thing though. Even though like obviously I love Carpenter's version, but I do want to watch the old version as well. I feel like I should, and obviously Carpenter was a big a big fan of it himself before making the remake. Um, so yeah, there's certain films though I just hope they never remake. You know, like say Jaws for example. You can't remake Jaws or Back to the Future. You know, there's just certain films that just you can't go there. I think as well about Jaws is I think it wouldn't work if they were remaking it. They would have to set it back maybe in the 70s or even further back. I don't think it would work, especially if they took on the same kind of format of a storyline that Jaws was. Because I just feel because so much more is known about sharks now that there's less of that kind of mystery kind of obviously there was people who were experts on sharks back in the 70s, but I think the general public there wasn't as much known about them. They were more of an enigma, where now kind of there's so many documentaries and things about them. I just don't think it would have the same effect or work as good. Also the fact is Jaws is an amazing film, so being able trying to top that would just be an impossibility. Cronenberg can be a bit controversial. His original version of Crimes of the Future is dodgy once you realize what is going on. Okay. And the Howard Hawks, the thing is excellent, and it utilizes all these auteur themes in a sci-fi setting. It's Howard Hawks, okay, therefore to watch. Okay, I'll definitely watch the original thing on the channel. That's definitely one I had on my list for a while, but I'll definitely make that essential viewing. So maybe I might go to old kind of maybe sci-fi, or at least most of them old, but like sci-fi genre next after I've put up the last of the noir films for now. Might be a thing. But listen though, guys, I've really enjoyed the chat, but it is gone to nearly 10:30 now, and I said I'd just chop on for half an hour. It was kind of just as a kind of an apology, kind of just that there hadn't been any reactions up the last 2 weekends. I did feel bad about that, but unfortunately, life does get in the way sometimes. But I really enjoyed the chat. So Kerry, Robert, thank you so much for coming on, and I'll definitely try and next time I go live, I'll try and put it up maybe a few days before, advertise it, so more people might know about it. But yeah, definitely good chatting, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. And as I say on the videos, till next time, slán go fóill.